guys, so I had 2 markets in one day and I already posted the video about the first market, so if you haven't seen that one, I'm going to link it in the description so you can watch that one. And then this video is about the second market that I did that day. So the first market ended at 3, so after we left that, we stopped to get some drinks and I got some Gatorade, and then we headed to our second market. So the second market was about 30 minutes away from the first one, and it started at 5, but we had to get there early to set up. And at this market, they also had an art gallery and art contest, and I also entered 2 pieces of art into that, and so I had to get everything ready for that as well. And I forgot that I needed to print a sign with how the people could pay for the artwork if they wanted to buy it in the gallery. And so we actually had to run home in between the markets, and I had to type up something real quick and get my QR code on there and print a couple pieces of paper, and then we went to the market. So once we got to the market, we figured out where our booth spot was, and then I went and I took all of my artwork up to the gallery. And then I realized that I guess I didn't read the agreement very well, because I was supposed to bring a stand for it. I thought that I was able to either hang it or bring a stand, but I read it wrong and it was supposed to only bring a stand and we can't hang stuff. So then I had to send my boyfriend to Dollar Tree to get some stands so that I could stand my artwork up, and I felt so bad, but I was also stressing because I was already tired from the first market, and then we had to set up real quick for the second market. But it ended up all working out, so it ended up fine. We actually set up with like a lot of time to spare, so once we set up, I just kind of like sat down on my chair and just rested for a little bit before the market technically opened, because I was pretty worn out from the first market. But anyways, this market went from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So for this market, I did the setup pretty similar to the one I did earlier in the day. I kind of just did it in reverse of how that one was, just because I wanted a little variation. So I had my pumpkin patch still, so that was the second market that I had my pumpkin patch at. So I'll go ahead and insert the clip of my booth before the market started. This is my booth before the market. I had lots of Halloween plushies at this market, and here's my pumpkin patch. And then most of my smaller plushies are on this side of the table. So right when we opened, I actually sold 3 things to one person. She was buying stuff for, I think, for her grandkids. So she bought one of my white Leggy Chickies, and she also got a mini chick and a crochet pumpkin. So this was one of my variegated kind of rainbow pumpkins, and those sold together for $52. The mini chick is $10, the white Leggy chick is $30, and the pumpkin I sold for $10. Next, I sold one of my dog stickers, and I think this was the first one of the dog stickers that I have sold, which it is a newer sticker, so I haven't had it as long as the Axolotl one, but I was very excited that someone got that one. And that same person also bought a mini ghost, so those sold together for $15. The sticker was $3 and the mini ghost is $12. And then that was all that I sold in the first hour. So in the second hour, the first thing that I sold was a whale keychain, and that sold for $12. Then I sold a flower keychain, and I was actually busy eating my dinner at this point, and so my boyfriend wrote that one down, and he didn't write down which color it was, so I'm not sure exactly which color it was, but I'll just put one of them up to show you what it is. And the flower keychain sold for $10. Then I sold 2 of my pins, so this person got the frog one and the dog pin. So those sold together for $4. And then the next person also bought 2 more pins, and they got 2 of the Axolotl pins, and those sold for $4 as well. And then I sold an Axolotl, and this was a blue one, and that sold for $20. Next, I sold one of my corn, and I think this was the one that had the embroidered eyes on it, and that sold for $20. And then I sold a pop mushroom, and we also forgot to write down which color this one was, so I'm not exactly sure which color it was. I think that it may have been just the classic red and white one, but I'm not exactly sure. And then I sold my large knit pumpkin. This was the biggest one that I had, and I actually don't think I have a picture just of it, but I think that I can zoom in on a picture of the pumpkin patch and show you which one it was. But it was just the biggest knit pumpkin, and it is an orange one. So that one sold for $15. And then that was the end of the second hour. So I sold quite a bit in the second hour. And then in the third hour, the first thing that I sold was one of my candy corn guys, and that sold for $15. I hadn't sold any at the market in the morning, so I was hoping to sell some at this one. Next, I sold an Octo, which is $12, and it was a pink one. And then I sold a sitting dino, and this was a blue one, and it sold for $15. Then I sold one of my spiders, which I was glad to sell because I had them, I think this was the third market that I had them at, and I hadn't sold any yet. And some people were saying they thought that they were octopus, and so it wasn't coming across to most people as a spider, I guess. So for my next market, I'm crocheting a spider web to set them on so that maybe people will understand that it's a spider. But anyways, that sold for $10. Next, I sold another one of my mini ghosts, but this one was a blue one, and it sold for $12. I was glad to sell one of the blue ones because this year was my first year to make some in blue and pink, and I think that's the only one that I've sold so far out of the blue and pink ones. And then that was the end of the third hour. So we're on to the last hour. So in the last hour, the first thing I sold was a sitting dino, and this one was a blue and green variegated one, and it sold for $15. And then I sold another candy corn guy, and that sold for $15. And then the last thing that I sold at this market was a Beetlejuice bee. So that was nice because this is only my second market to have those at, so I was glad I sold one at the last market and one at this one. And I had only made 3, so that just left me with 1. So my total for this market was $281. So that isn't quite as much as I usually do at this market, but it was still pretty good, and it was a fun day. It was a nice day. The weather was great. So I'm pretty happy about it. I kind of wished that I would have made a little bit more for doing 2 markets in a day, because like I've made, like if I totaled together both of the markets from the day, I've made that much at one market before. So it was a lot of work to do 2 markets in one day, so I was hoping to make a bit more than that, but it was a really good day and it was really fun. So I'm happy with how it turned out, even though I didn't make quite as much as I was hoping to. So I will go ahead and put in the clip of the booth after the market. And since we did 2 markets in one day, we didn't have time to charge our battery in between the markets, and it didn't have enough charge, so we use our battery for the lights and the canopy. So whenever we do a night market and whenever it starts getting dark, we turn the lights on for the rest of the market. Well, on this day, my card reader was messing up and it wasn't connecting. It would connect, and then like by the time I went to take the next person's money, it would disconnect. So I had to keep trying to reconnect it, and then it would take forever to reconnect, and the battery was not holding a charge very well, so we had to charge it a lot throughout the day, even though it wasn't working a lot of the time. So I had to manually enter in a lot of people's cards, which is a little annoying because it takes longer, but also because I actually have to pay a higher fee on those orders that I type in rather than using the card reader. So that was a little bit frustrating that my card reader wasn't working, especially because it's like a $60 card reader, which I guess it's not that much, but it's just kind of annoying that I have to get a new one. So anyways, that happened, and because we were using it so much to charge that, it drained the battery, and then we didn't have enough power to charge the lights for the entire market. So I think about the last whole hour of the market, we didn't have the lights on, and we thought about like taking the canopy down because maybe there would be more light coming in from the rest of the building, but there wasn't room for us to take the canopy down without like taking all of our stuff down and moving the tables. So we ended up just leaving the canopy up, and it was just kind of dark, and I'm not really sure if that hindered me making sales. There were still some people shopping even though it was kind of dark, but it was kind of slower at the end anyways, so I think it was okay. But I'm definitely making sure to charge it before the next market because I do not want that to happen again. But I guess now we know if we're doing 2 markets in a day that we need to somehow at some point go and charge the battery for a bit because it might not last long enough. But also, once I get a new card reader, then it should hold the charge, and I shouldn't have to charge it like throughout the day like that. And same thing with this market. In the video, you might not be able to tell much is missing, but that is because I was restocking as people were buying stuff. So I have quite a bit of stock made up. So most of the main things that I sell often, I have multiples of them. So when one sells, then I just grab another one and put it out on the table. This is my booth after the market, and like I said, my lights died, so it's pretty dark. It actually looked a bit darker in person than it even is in this video. So the total that I made for the day, both markets combined, is $501. So that's not the most I've made, you know, at a market, but I think it was pretty good for the day. And like I said, it was a super fun day, so I did enjoy it. So I want to know which item I sold was your favorite item. Let me know in the comments below. And I do still have quite a few more fall markets coming up as well. So make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss those, and please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.